Hey, there's a brand new class coming to AQ Worlds. Hey, big thanks to all the subscribers. Welcome to the channel. How you guys doing? And yeah, we're getting really close to 70k, so that's really cool. But you're here for the class. So Glacial Warlord class skills return. So this is a newly reimagined Glacial Warlord class. So if you're unfamiliar, Glacial Warlord was a class that released in 2013, 10 years ago. Jesus. And it has kind of been just a bad class in the game. Like no one, and you might, if you could have played this game for 10 years and not heard anyone talk about Glacial Warlord because it's just that bad of a class. One people spanks almost immediately. So how do you unlock the class? They're basically reimagining it, so it's basically a new class. It comes with all new art and is part of the Frostfell gifting celebrations. So how to unlock the class. So it's either going to be through the coin merge for the generosity coins, the gifting event tier rewards at tier 2 through 7, or from the February seasonal shop. So it'll be available again in February as well for 2,500 AC. So the cheapest way of getting it is probably going to be with the 10x coins, because I think you get, I'm going off memory, but I think you get 2 a day for 100 AC. Like, I think it's like 100 AC per coin. So, you know, that's cheaper than this. So it might be even less. I don't know, but I think the coin merge might be the cheapest way of getting this class if you want to get it. Cost next for 500 over a normal class AC value. That might be because of inflation. Maybe every new class is going to be 2,500 by default now in the game. Could be the case there. So if you missed out on it, you have to wait for February, but it will be part of the gifting event this year. Okay, well, we got the whole skill breakdown, so let's go over it. We don't have the actual class art or anything. I don't think that's out yet, but I'm sure it'll look fine. You normally never see people's classes anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Fighter and luck. Tank melee. Stat model mana regen gains mana when they strike an enemy or are struck by an enemy in combat. More effective on crits on the hits. So, yeah, good. Good looking there. Good there. So the skill breakdown for the rank 1 passive Skull Crusher. All skills can't crit unless Frozen Heart is active. Okay, so you got a little bit of a modifier there on the class. It's kind of cool. I don't know what Frozen Heart. Okay, Frozen Heart's like a skill. Okay, this is my first time reading through these, so yeah, we're experiencing this together. Rank 1 is your auto attack on an enemy for 1 target, 175% physical, melee range, and on a 2.75 second cooldown. An attack that strikes with full force but takes longer to build up power. If Frozen Heart isn't active, applies cryopathy to your target, reducing their damage resistance by 5% for 15 up to 10 stacks. Okay. Their damage resistance could be good. That sounds a slower but stronger auto attack than that's on your auto attack. Wow, okay. That's pretty decent. A slower but stronger auto attack than most. When Frozen Heart isn't active, the skill stacks a sizable defense debuff on your target. What is Frozen Heart? Well, read just a bit further. Frozen Heart is a rank 1 enemy, 1 target, 150 physical, melee range, 10 mana on 2.5 second cooldown. Toggles Frozen Heart. When active, Frozen Heart reduces your damage resistance by 50%, causes all skills to crit, and changes the properties of other skills. Use again to remove Frozen Heart, can't miss. So it's a toggle, this skill. It's a toggle that guarantees a crit, causes those skills to crit. That's interesting. So would you want to toggle that on and off to continue just getting guaranteed crits? Perhaps? I don't know if that's the thing you can do, but when Glacial Warlord first released in December 2013, it used a mechanic called Frozen Heart, change the properties of its skills while it was active. While this was an interesting mechanic, it never felt like it was being utilized to its fullest extent, but the changes today will rework Frozen Heart has become a toggleable skill, meaning that every time it is used, the class switches between one of 2 states. In this case, a defensive stat that aims to keep you alive longer, and an offensive state that aims to increase your damage output. Okay, yeah, I can understand that. So you go from defense to offense with the toggle, and you want to choose when you're using that and when you're not. We'll see how that it works situationally, but it seems pretty cool. All right, next skill, Bitter Cold. Rank 2. Enemy, 1 target. So seems like a very 1 target focus class. 200% physical damage, melee range, 15 mana cost on a 7-second cooldown. Okay, kind of a lengthy cooldown there. A chilling attack that freezes your target to the core, stunning for 1 second. If Frozen Heart isn't active, applies Frigid to your target, reducing their crit chance by 20% for 10 seconds. If Frozen Heart is active, applies Cold Wave to your target, reducing their dodge by 20%. Okay, so you're choosing between crit chance or dodge, whether or not your Frozen Heart is active. A debuffing skill that also stuns no matter what mode you're in. In your defensive state, you apply a crit chance debuff to keep you alive longer. In an offensive state, you apply a dodge debuff that will help you land attacks more often. Okay. Not too bad. So if your opponent's dodging, you want to do that. And yeah, of course. So pretty simple there. This is a lot more simple than the last class skills we read through with the gunslinger one, where it's like, oh my god, yeah, that class is gonna take a while though. Anyway, max targets 1 on this one, 275% physical, so it's doing good damage. Long range as well, with a 25, a quarter of your mana gone there, and a 12-second cooldown. So I'm guessing this is your nuke. Based on that and that. Attack with the might of a glacier. If Frozen Heart isn't active, applies Bone Shield to your target, reducing their haste and outgoing damage by 30% for 15. Yeah, that's actually really good. Outgoing damage by 30. It's like isn't this imagine this with Arch Pal in the same room. Ooh. Ooh. Interesting. 15 seconds of 30. That's really good. Frozen Heart is active, applies Frozen Ferocity, increasing your hit chance and haste by 20%. Man, imagine if this was a group buff. Ooh. Ooh. Imagine if this was for everyone in the room. That'd be so good. But yeah, that's really good. The most expensive skill, but also the most powerful. Well, in defensive state, you apply a hefty debuff to your target that increases you and your allies' survivability. In offensive state, you get a small hit chance and haste buff that when combined with a dodge buff from the previous skill, helps you output damage at an even more frequent pace. Okay, so I'm just gonna say something here. I can never really tell when I'm in this mode or that mode in AQ worlds. Like for Archmage, for example, has 2 modes as well, kind of similar to this. And the skill art for both modes, at least for a period of time, was the same. So if you're looking at the skill art of like your active abilities and like what's going, it's the same art. There's no way to tell what mode you're in unless you're like looking at unless you're like, okay, I'm not getting a passive heal, I'm not in that mode. So like, but there's no other like visual indication of. I really hope there's like strong visual indications of what mode you're in. There should be like a fire around your guy if you're in the offensive mode, and like maybe like a shield behind your guy if you're in the defense mode. Like there should be like strong visual cues for these things. It would really help me and probably other people as well. But yeah, maybe an AQ Unity or whatever, maybe an Infinity, maybe we'll get that. All right, so Warcry, rank 5, targets friendly, max target 7, type minus 800% static physical. Okay, range infinite, mana cost 10. Oh, so wait, this isn't your nuke. This. Yeah, I was thinking, like, aren't we? This is the last skill. Last skill takes minus 800% static physical damage. What? 14-second cooldown. Invigorating Shout. If Frostheart isn't active, heals you and up to 6 allies while applying Warlord's Rally, increasing crit chance and damage resistance by. Woo! Wait, so you can get 25% damage resistance. And you can do 30% outgoing damage to your target. Reduce target by... Wow, on the same class. Okay. What's the mana? 10 mana cost. And yeah, it wouldn't... you'd have the mana to do that as well. Okay. 20 seconds of that too. Jesus, okay. That seems really strong. And reduce mana cost by 50% for 20 seconds. And you're reducing mana cost. Wow, okay. If Frozen Heart is active, heals you. Wait, is this. This is. Heals you and up to 6 allies. I'm guessing it doesn't reduce mana cost for 6 allies, but anyway. I'm guessing that's just for you. If Frozen Heart is active, heals you and applies Warcry, healing you over time and increasing your crit damage by 75%. 20 seconds. Yo, that's can't complain about that. That's a lot of crit damage. All right. A healing and buffing skill that drastically changes depending on whether Frozen Heart is or not active. In your defensive state, it becomes support focus. It becomes a support focus skill that heals everyone, reducing their damage taken, reduces the mana cost of their skills. Wait, so the mana cost is for everyone? Oh, wow. Holy, okay. In your offensive state, however, this skill only heals you and provides you with a HOT and increase your crit damage. Wait, so is this one isn't for your team? Oh, why would you ever do this one? I mean, if you're solo and you want to do more damage, I mean, if you're in a group fight, you'd want to, like, always do this, right? Everyone's crit chance goes up by 25% and their mana cost goes down by 50% for 20 seconds. Yeah, you'd want to do this, like, I don't see why you wouldn't do that over this. This seems like it would help a lot less than a room full of people, but that's probably what the devs were thinking as well, I imagine. Probably like, yeah, use this if you're solo and you need damage, and use the other one if you're in a team fight. All right, rank 4, passive. Passives never really matter for classes because it's kind of just built in the class. You don't really think about it, but hey, let's read them anyway. Damage resistance increased by 50% and physical resistance by 20. Cool. Strength increased by 50. Cool. It's good. All right. Oh, this is actually a unique passive, maybe? Starting at rank 1, all skills can't crit unless Frozen Heart is active. At rank 10, if Frozen Heart is active, powerful blows apply. Skull Crusher, increasing your outgoing damage by 5% for 15 seconds to stacking to 10. Ooh. Ooh, that's good. Okay. Alright, after reading through all these abilities, you got my first reaction on here. I did not pre-read those or anything, if you couldn't tell. So, this seems like it might be a very, very decent, like, support damage class. It might be. I mean, we have to wait to actually see it in game, of course. Like with every class, you never know how it's actually going to interact with the actual video game. But it seems like it's going to be very good. Let's read the conclusion. Sometimes they sneak a little info bits in there. Glacial Warlord's Frozen Heart ability allows you to switch between two states: an offensive state that causes your skills to always crit but makes you more vulnerable to incoming damage, and a defensive state that absorbs incoming damage and can support its party members, but reduces your damage output. Yeah, that party member support seems so strong. Like it actually seems like a good like Arch Paladin sort of, maybe combined with Arch Paladin, maybe it replaces it in your party, but that seems really good. I feel like they might, I'm not gonna say anything. Okay. I feel like it might maybe take advantage of it while it's. However, while there are two states, Frozen Heart has a short cooldown. So you can essentially switch between the two states whenever you want, meaning that auras you apply in one state can benefit the other. For example, while in defensive state, powerful blows applies a defensive debuff to your target. But if you switch to offensive state, you can make use of that debuff to deal even more damage. Oh, okay, so the debuffs it doesn't toggle debuffs off when you switch your states. Like they're, okay, I didn't think about that. Like for some reason I thought like it was just gonna like them off, like a light, like if you switch states, they just remove them or something, but I guess they would still be there, right? So yeah, you could play around the fact. Okay, so that's why you got a switching mode, I guess. How you choose to play Glacial Warlord is up to you, but regardless, should be a formidable force on the frozen battlefield. Wow. Okay. I'm actually pretty impressed by these skills. Seems like a very good class, a class I would actually want to be using, which is kind of rare. I mean, I want to use the gunslinger one that they put out before too, because that one's interesting. But like this just seems like a traditional, very good class for the game, and potentially might be actually used by people in the modern game. Like, this actually might be a class people use, which is cool to see. It kind of sucks. It's paid only. At least that's my assumption, right? 2,500 ACs, gifting tiers, coin merge. I'm pretty sure you can't get coins for free, right? I mean, you could get them for free if you received gifted ACs and then you spent those gifted AC and then you re-gifted those ACs to get coins from them. Could be a way of getting them for free. But yeah, it's otherwise it's I think I have a lot of generosity coins from last year. Let me check in game. Yeah, I have 19. So I have enough to get the class outright. And if you've played previous years and not spent your coins, check your bank. They might be in there. You might have coins enough for the class already. So very good. So it seems like it might be like close to a meta class, but it's or maybe even like a very good class that people want people to be using, like for the support. The support capabilities seem very strong, being able to heal 6 people and all the reductions and stuff. So it being paid only is kind of weird to me. I would like to see a farming. I think a farming option, even if it was long, would be good for the game, in my opinion. Like, I don't think it should be locked behind paid. I mean, I'd love to pay to skip the farm. I'm okay with that, but I think there should still be a farm. Like, even if it takes you like 15 hours or something to farm it, like, give people the option if they want to spend their time doing that instead of buying it for generosity coins, or which generosity coins people will get basically for free just for like donating their ACs to get the new tiers that come out every year. So people will basically stack those up and they're not really spending them on anything anyway. So it's kind of like free because it's like a resource you're not really using, right? But yeah, anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Wish there was a farmable version. It doesn't say anything about it there. Maybe there is. Maybe let me double check. No, and it's no way to farm it. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It's, I mean, counter classes exist in the game, so what do you expect? But anyway, that's my full thoughts on this class. What do you guys think of it? Well, comment down below. I'm interested. Are you guys gonna be picking this up? Do you have enough coins already to get it? Are you gonna be doing the tiers here to get it, or gonna wait for February to buy it for 2,500 AC? I mean, I really, if you want this class, and I'll make a video on it as soon as it's available because I can get it for free basically. So check out my video or other people's videos on it. See if you think you'd like the class or not, and then spend your coins on it because coins will be cheaper. So don't wait for February. Probably just go the generosity coin route if you plan on getting it. Anyway, leave a like on the video if you like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I'll see you guys all in the next one. There'll be tons of content on this class and other stuff coming up here. This event to get the class is coming out on Friday this week, so that's when this class is coming out. We haven't seen the art or anything for it yet, but I'm sure that'll be out soon. And yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a like on the video, subscribe. Peace.